once knew a nigga whose real name was William. His primary concern was making $1 million, being the illest hustler that the world ever seen. He used to fuck movie stars and sniff coke in his dreams. A corrupted young mind at the age of 13. Nigga never had a father and his mom was a fiend. She put the pipe down, but for every year she was sober, her son's heart simultaneously grew colder. He started hanging out, selling bags in the projects, checking the young chicks looking for hit and run prospects. He was fascinated by material objects, but he understood money never bought respect. He built a reputation cause he could hustle and steal, but got locked once and didn't hesitate to squeal. So criminals he chilled with didn't think he was real. You see, me and niggas like this have never been equal. I don't project my insecurities on other people. He fiended for props like addicts with pipes and needles, and so he felt he had to prove to everyone he was evil. A feeble-minded young man with infinite potential, the product of a ghetto-bred capitalistic mental. Coincidentally dropped out of school to sell weed, dancing with the devil, smoked until his eyes would bleed. But he was sick of selling trees and gave in to his greed. Everyone tryna be trife, never face the consequences. You probably only did a month for minor offenses. Ask a nigga doing life if he had another chance. But then again, there's always the wicked that knew in advance. Dance forever with the devil on a cold cell block. But that's what happens when you rape, murder, and sell rock. Devils used to be gods, angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. So Billy started robbing niggas, anything he could do to get his respect back in the eyes of his crew. Starting fights over little shit up on the block. Stepped up to selling mothers and brothers the crack rock. Working overtime, making money for the crack spot. Hit the jackpot and wanted to move up to cocaine, fulfilling the Scarface fantasy stuck in his brain. Tired of the block niggas treating him the same. He wanted to be major like the cutthroats and the thugs. But when he tried to step to him, niggas showed him no love. They told him any motherfucking coward can sell drugs. Any bitch nigga with a gun can bust slugs. Any nigga with a red shirt can front like a blood. Even Puffy smoked the motherfucker up in the club. But only a real thug can stab someone till they die. Standing in front of them, staring straight into their eyes, Billy realized that these men were well guarded, and they wanted to test him before business started. Suggested raping a bitch to prove he was cold-hearted. So now he had a choice between going back to his life or making money with made men. Up in the sight, his dreams about cars and ice made him agree a hardcore nigga is all he ever wanted to be. And so he met them Friday night at 2:45. Everyone tryna be trife, never face the consequences. You probably only did a month for minor offenses. Ask a nigga doing life if he had another chance. But then again, there's always the wicked that knew in advance. Dance forever with the devil on a cold cell block. But that's what happens when you rape, murder, and sell rock. Devils used to be gods, angels that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. They drove around the project slow while it was raining, smoking blunts, drinking and joking for entertainment, until they saw a woman on the street walking alone, 3 in the morning, coming back from work on her way home. And so they quietly got out the car and followed her, walking through the projects. The darkness swallowed her. They wrapped her shirt around their head and knocked her onto the floor. This is it, kid, now you got your chance to be raw. So Billy yoked her up and grabbed the chick by the hair and dragged her into a lobby that had nobody there. She struggled hard, but they forced her to go up the stairs. They got to the roof and then held her down on the ground, screaming, "Shut the fuck up and stop moving around." The shirt covered her face, but she screamed and clawed. So Billy stomped on the bitch till he broke in her jaw. Them dirty bastards knew exactly what they were doing. They kicked her until they cracked her ribs and she stopped moving. Blood leaking through the cloth, she cried silently. And then they all proceeded to rape her violently. Billy was made to go first, but each of them took a turn, ripping her up and choking her until her throat burned. Her broken jaw mumbled for God, but they weren't concerned. When they were done and she was lying bloody, broken and bruised, one of them niggas pulled out a brand new 22. They told him that she was a witness for what she'd gone through, and if he killed her, he was guaranteed a spot in the crew. He thought about it for a minute, she was practically dead, and so he leaned over and put the gun right to her head.
I'm falling and I can't turn back. I'm falling and I can't turn back.
right before he pulled the trigger and ended her life. He thought about the cocaine with the platinum and ice, and he felt strong standing along with his new brothers. Cocked the gat to her head and pulled back the shirt cover, but what he saw made him start to cringe and stutter, cause he was staring into the eyes of his own mother. She looked back at him and cried cause he had forsaken her. She cried more painfully, and when they were raping her, his whole world stopped. He couldn't even contemplate. His corruption had successfully changed his fate, and he remembered how his mom used to come home late, working hard for nothing, cause now what was he worth? He turned away from the woman that had once given him birth, and crying out to the sky cause he was lonely and scared, but only the devil responded cause God wasn't there. And right then he knew what it was to be empty and cold, and so he jumped off the roof and died with no soul. They say death takes you to a better place, but I doubt it. After that they killed his mother and never spoke about it. And listen, cause the story that I'm telling is true, cause I was there with Billy Jacobs and I raped his mom too. And now the devil follows me everywhere that I go. In fact, I'm sure he's standing among one of you at my shows, in every street cipher listening to Little Thug's flow. He could be standing right next to you and you wouldn't know. The devil grows inside the hearts of the selfish and wicked. White, brown, yellow, and black color is not restricted. You have a self-destructive destiny when you're inflicted, and you'll be one of God's children that fell from the top. There's no diversity because we're burning in the melting pot. So when the devil wants to dance with you, you better say never, because a dance with the devil might last you forever. Her way to becoming a college graduate, wouldn't even stop to talk to the average kid. The type of Latina I'd sit and contemplate marriage with. Fuck the horse and carriage shit, her love was never for hire. Disciplined intellectual beauty's what I desire. Flyer than Selma Hayek or Jennifer Lopez. Everyone told me kicking it to her was hopeless. At first I just thought she didn't mess with broke kids. The thug niggas always talking about how they smoke kids, but the rich sniff coke kids got no play. I'm not even interested what her body language would say. Everyone around the way gave up trying to get in it, cause didn't matter how good your game was, she wasn't with it. All the block bitches was jealous but wouldn't admit it. Talk shit and deny to everyone that they did it, cause they regretted the long list of niggas that they let hit it. And no one ever gave them shit except McDonald's and Diddick. Smoking weed with thoughts of envy whenever they lit it. She spoke intelligently and they bit it, always trying to copy, but when they tried to use her vocab they sounded sloppy. She had a style all her own, respectful and pure. I was sick in the head for her and there wasn't a cure. Brown and beautiful, yet empty and sad. I used to talk to her occasionally and she was glad that I wasn't just another nigga trying to get in it. So every now and then we'd stop and talk for a minute. I didn't have a gimmick, so the minutes turned to hours. On her birthday, I gave her a poem with flowers. Then I took her out to dinner after her cousin's baby shower. We talked about power to the people and such. We spent more time together, but it was never enough. I never tried to sneak a touch or even cop a feel. I was too interested in keeping it real, perfectly honest and complete. She would always call me cariño and never technique. Bought me a new book to read every 2 or 3 weeks, forever changing the expression of my thoughts. thoughts when I speak. It was because of her I even deaded all of my freaks. She convinced me to stop hanging out on the streets, to stop robbing and stealing from people like you. Instead I took her out to the Apollo and the Bronx Zoo, Museo del Barrio and the Metropolitan too. Got to the point where I was either with her or my crew. So I decided one day to tell her my feelings was true. I couldn't live without her, so I told her face of my fears. But honey's only response was a face full of tears. She could only sob hysterically, holding me tight. I tried to speak, but she wouldn't stop until I left sight. I felt like a moth who got himself too close to the light. Except I didn't burn, I turned cold after that night.
Don't you know that time waits for no man, and our fate is all planned? I'm blessed just to know you, to be loved, and I'm lost just to hold you all. I can't find a reason why God came between you and I. If I had the chance again, I'd never let you go. Hold tight to your love, 'cause you never know.
I went on with my life, college and my career. Ended up locked up like an animal for a year, where the COs talk to you like they were the overseer. Then I got sent to the hole when my exit was near. At night in my cell, I'd close my eyes and I'd see her, hold her close in my dreams. But when I woke, she disappeared. Just an empty cell until the state gave me parole. In the summer, came back intact and on track. But the fact of the matter is I still felt cold. Even after my mother hugged me crying at home, my real niggas would catch me thinking out of my zone, fucking lots of different women. But I still felt alone, relatively well known around the New York underground. But I kept thinking of her and how we used to be down. The sound of her voice and the beautiful smell of her hair. Though gone physically, somehow it was still there. I had to do something because the shit was too much to bear. So I went and visited the building where she used to live. The world looks a lot different after you do a bid. Your way of life done changed, while primitive minds are still stuck in the same game. Like her cousin who was on the corner slinging cocaine, stepped in the lobby and tapped the button next to her last name. Her mom buzzed me up and hugged me up like a mother order, but her facial expression changed when I asked about her daughter.
For no man, and our fate is all planned. I'm blessed just to know you, to be loved, and I'm lost just to hold you all. I can't find a reason why God came between you and I. If I had the chance again, I'd never let you go. Hold tight to your love, 'cause you never know.
She told me that there was a note for me that was left behind, and she had left it there waiting for such a long time. I was inclined to ask about it, but she brought it up first. I saw a tear swelling up in her eye, and then she cursed. She told me where the letter was, and I started thinking the worst. Reversed my position, stepped over and opened the door, and sure enough there was an envelope with my name on the floor. Nobody loves you more than me, cariño's what the letter said. By the time you get to read this, I'll probably be dead. But when you left in '97, a part of me went to heaven. I thank God at least I got to know what love really was. But it hurt me to see what true love really does. 'Cause even though we never made love, you were all that there was. It was because I loved you so much that I had to make you leave. You made me doubt the way I thought, you made me wanna believe. And then I slipped up and I let you get close to me. It was hard to not be openly when people spoke to me. This was not the way I thought my life was supposed to be. Baby, don't you see? I had a blood transfusion that left me with HIV. Hope didn't exist for me since late in 1993. I died a virgin. I wish I could have given myself to you. I cried in the hospital 'cause there was no one else but you. Promise that you'll meet me in paradise inevitably. No matter what, I'll keep your love forever with me. What happened for the rest of the day is still a blur, but I remember wishing that I was dead instead of her. She was buried on August 3rd. The story ends without a sequel, and now you know our technique. Don't fucking fall